Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick. This is Tin Man, and a new challenger approaches the stage. It is Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, yeah.
And Dragon Quest characters, but more importantly, Banjo-Kazooie.
Collect those Jinjos and puzzle pieces.
Is now in Smash.
Just what I always wanted, all the rare characters.
Although, actually, here's the thing, though.
Master.
The fact that there is a rare character. Like, I don't.
This opens the doors.
Like, I don't actually play Smash. But yeah, I probably should.
It's a family affair for me. We play it religiously weekly.
The fact that Microsoft has allowed its rare character to go back to a Nintendo franchise is indicative of because Microsoft and Nintendo have had some interesting things going on, because I believe Minecraft is going to be on the Switch. There's been other Microsoft related stuff.
They're making nice in order to team up against Sony, I see.
Or perhaps Microsoft doesn't necessarily see the Nintendo Switch as direct competition.
Yeah, I don't think that they do.
And I don't think they do. Yeah. Because they really aren't. They have their own market.
They're doing their own whole thing.
Like the people who play Halo Infinite are probably not the people who also have a Switch.
This is true.
But the people who have a Switch, they might play a little bit of Halo.
Yeah. I do.
And that's, I think, with this year, I want to say last year, with Smash, they spent a lot of time
on Smash.
A lot of time talking about the technical aspects.
Let's get it done.
So, last E3, very technical presentation on Smash. This E3, very short, very specific.
They brought other toys to play with for us this year.
Kind of like how Square bookended their presentation with Final Fantasy VII and Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Nintendo bookended their presentation with opening about Dragon Quest characters and then closing with Banjo and Kazooie. For better or worse.
Right.
Like, is that the make-all, break-all Nintendo news we needed? Oh, wait, they also had the Zelda one.
Yeah, also they had Breath of the Wild, too. They brought their big guns. Luigi's Mansion 3?
Luigi's Mansion 3.
I'm excited. It looks really good.
Not to mention the idea of the 8-player co-op Scare-Scraper Tower.
I saw that, I'm like, that is so cool.
Like, that sounds like a really clever next step for for Luigi's Mansion.
Right.
The Dark Crystal Tactics?
Honestly, I feel bad about it, because, like, I should love Dark Crystal, but I'm not excited about the Netflix comeback or any of it.
I've never seen Dark Crystal.
Really? Never watched it as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's creepy puppets. It's like really gross, creepy, dark puppets.
I figured as much from the trailer for this game.
Yeah. I don't know. I should be excited. Maybe I'll watch the Netflix show and give it a shot. Maybe I'll care again, but for now, no.
Plenty
of other things to be excited about.
Plenty of other things.
No shortage.
Like, in regards to, like, bringing things back, there's The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Which I think,
awesome.
Like, with the Game Boy version, like, that's something I didn't get to play as a kid. So actually having a revamped version...
A little before your time, I guess, yeah.
Oh, I had some terrible Game Boy games.
Yeah.
I didn't have any good Game Boy games. I had the Empire Strikes Back on the Game Boy.
I had, like, Wario.
I had True Lies on the Game Boy for some reason.
Okay. I probably have to beat my terrible Game Gear collection or my Atari Lynx collection. We live in a golden age of gaming, suffice to say now. We've come a long way.
We've come a long way.
We've come a little ways.
Like, when we get a terrible movie-based video game, it's playable to some degree.
Right.
As opposed to some of these other older games that were just garbage. But we've also got a new Mana game that was kind of unexpected, a Trials of Mana. Cool. There really hasn't been too much talk, but then I guess it kind of goes with, like, everybody's trying to bring back, like, there's the Castlevania collection that came out, there's a Contra collection in the works, and now there's a collection of Mana. Yeah. However, I noticed the issue I have with that one is it only collects, like, an earlier Secret of Mana, the Super Nintendo game, and then the unreleased Trials of Mana. It ignores Secret of Evermore and Legend of Mana. Which have you ever played Legend of Mana?
I never got into that series, and
The Witcher 3 is now on the Switch.
That's awesome, but I'm sure it's going to suffer a horrible graphical downgrade.
I don't know. CD Projekt tends to be a pretty good engineering team, but there have been a lot of games like Doom. I've heard has issues.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein I've heard has issues. Skyrim I've played on the Switch, and that has long load times.
See, I think some games work well on the Switch. I'm extremely excited for Ultimate Alliance 3. That's going to be amazing, and I think that lends itself with its cartoony style to be on a handheld.
And it also has that like multiplayer.
Yeah, which God knows my whole family's getting in front of a TV for that one. And plus they announced basically the DLC. They're going to have an X-Men one, a Marvel Knights one with more obscure characters, and a cosmic one. So they've got plenty of content, and they know everyone's going to pay for all these characters.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a sucker for it, so I'm going to as well. But it looks so good, and I can't wait. Like, I still play Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 with my family a lot, so that's a system seller for, I think, a lot of people. So it's an
easy jump to Ultimate Alliance 3 when that comes out.
Yeah. But I'm also really excited about this Empire of Sin. John Romero's 3D mob strategy game. It's like XCOM, but with mobsters, and like in 19...
Which also is like a shooter mafia as well?
Yeah, it's like an isometric shooter. It looks so cool.
Although that's the interesting thing about the Switch, is the Switch has kind of become this kind of haven
catch-all
for indie games as well. Just as much as a PC game has. Like, one of the best games I've played on the Switch was Mr. Shifty.
I would never have guessed that. Okay.
So Mr. Shifty was one of my favorite games on the Switch. It's also on the PC. But it was a game in which you have the ability to teleport short distances.
Okay.
And enemies can kill you in one hit.
Right.
But you have the ability to teleport. So it was very much like that kind of weird indie game that may not have easily fit into like other systems, but the Switch is kind of like, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take this Empire of Sin gangsters shooter. Like, we're not just a kid's device anymore. We got everything else. Heck, we've got anime up the wazoo.
Yeah.
There is so much anime on the Switch now. There's like Fire Emblem, Three Houses, which looks like a very epic anime storyline. Daemon Ex Machina.
Okay.
Astral Chain.
Sure. Little Astral Chain. As for myself, I'm excited about No More Heroes 2020 because I love that series. Like,
No More Heroes 3?
Yeah.
That was unexpected for me.
I did not expect that at all.
Because, like, with Travis Strikes Back,
right? Like,
it felt that there wasn't much money to make a solid No More Heroes sequel. So the fact that we're getting a complete, like, part 3 is very meaningful. There's no gameplay for it, but hey.
Right. At least it's in the works. It's coming. It's something that exists. The sure bet was Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh my god, this is gonna be huge.
I've never actually played an Animal Crossing.
You never played the old school ones on the GameCube or anything?
Nope.
Definitely time sink.
I've passed them by at the game store, but...
yeah, I probably threw away this is probably one of the reasons I failed my freshman year of college, because oh my god, it's a horrible time sink. Like, it's adorable, it's Animal Crossing, man.
I couldn't help but notice that one of the things that they ended the trailer on was how much money you owe.
Like Tom Nook talking about your taxes and that was freaking hilarious. But yeah, so many games coming out. You got your Pedro, your Blades, your Doom Eternal, your things. Like, a lot of third-party support, a lot of...
Alien Isolation,
that's a shock. But that would actually be awesome to play. I do play that one every now and then. And it's a very stressful game to play.
They also kind of briefly mentioned there's a Stranger Things 3 game. Like, very briefly, they showed like Stranger Things 3.
I must have missed that. I didn't write that down here.
I'll have to show you it afterwards, but it's like very, very brief amongst everything else. And it's strange how they didn't really show more of Super Mario Maker 2, especially since it's coming out in like a few weeks.
Maybe that's why I felt they didn't need to.
Possibly 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if they showed more of Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't think they even needed to. The name alone will sell it. Like,
Um,
besides, they had to show that goofy-looking Crypt of the Necromancer Cadence of Hyrule that looked like a 3DO Zelda.
well, have you played the game that it's based off of?
No.
That Cadence of Hyrule, that's based off of Crypt of the Necrodancer. That's the game that came first, and this is basically just expansion of that. And Crypt of the Necrodancer is a game in which you move, attack, and explore a dungeon to the beat of the music.
That actually sounds pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Okay.
The farther you get it, the farther I get into the game, the worse I get, because then just so
It's
much stuff
progressively-
happening
Okay.
is going on, and then
See,
I'm
that
like,
sounds
oh,
like that's
gosh.
like Guitar Hero. Like, there's just a certain point where you can't possibly play any better because your muscle memory is, your body's disintegrating with old age, and you just can't get any better.
But now there's the promise that you'd be able to do that to the music of Legend of Zelda,
Okay. So
which
that's
sounds pretty awesome,
cool. That is awesome.
with Legend of Zelda characters.
Sounds like a match made in heaven. Because that music's extremely iconic and beloved by all.
This is known, Khaleesi.
This is known.
Though with Breath of the Wild 2, there are a few things that I would like to see changed from Breath of the Wild.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't care for the fact that your weapons fell apart faster than twigs.
That was bullshit. That's my main gripe with the game and why I won't play it anymore, because that stuff drives me crazy.
Like, by the time I got the Master Sword,
Yeah.
I didn't actually use it on a regular enemy
Just
because
you
I
were
was worried
afraid
about
of-
it
yeah.
degrading.
I know what you
Um,
mean. That's me too.
It was only used to fight Ganon, and that's it.
That sucks. That's really frustrating. Yeah.
I would like to see difficulty balanced a little bit better, because I feel as though the difficulty of Breath of the Wild kind of pushed me away from exploring the game.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
I would wander off in a direction and then get hit by a single arrow and go from full health to nothing. And it's like, oh, you're getting punished for exploration.
It's like a Fallout game. You know, you go in the wrong dungeon and you're gonna run into a bunch of death claws and they'll kill you.
And I would also like to see more meaningful dungeons. Instead of just a land that's filled with challenge dungeons,
Okay.
with these little challenge dungeons,
Yeah.
I'd like to see fewer but bigger and more meaningful dungeons. Like, you look at the original Zelda games, you look at Link to the Past, you look at Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Iconic. I can recite you any of those dungeons from memory. Like, they're so memorable.
There are only like 8 dungeons in the Dark World.
Yeah.
But each dungeon is a meaningful collection of challenges, rather than having a land have 20 little challenges,
Sure.
which makes the collecting of everything take so much longer.
So you're saying you want this to be Majora's Mask?
That would be an interesting twist.
I
You only
mean,
have 3 days.
Just change a few core mechanics and a different emphasis.
Okay.
And-
I was thinking you were going to emphasize the 3 days part in the loop that Link was caught
I love
in,
that. Or
but
just
the
like
idea of just kind of
the
take
mask.
those core mechanics and develop on it and refine it.
Yeah. I mean, just change
Like
different story. And the same world. The world was good. Just fix all the issues and, like you said, new dungeons for sure. More iconic bosses for sure.
Weapons that lasted
Weapons
slightly
that
longer.
aren't sticks. And,
Oh, you got a silver broadsword.
yeah.
You used it on one enemy. It is now garbage. Manufacturing of those days, they just didn't have the quality.
Very poor.
Yeah.
What else is there, man? I think Nintendo had a strong showing. They have a really good stable altogether, and
There's Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
why is this a thing? I used to love Sonic. I just don't see it. I don't know
Who
it's
will
made
win
for.
in a foot
Who-
race?
Right? Who's
Bowser,
winning this?
Sonic, or Tails? The answer is Amy.
Dr. Robotnik.
Big the Cat will be your.
Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik.
He's played worse roles,
That's true.
but not by much. Not by much.
New why did they decide to play Resident Evil in like a haunted house?
Yeah,
demo?
and why were they
For, like, a
advertising?
long-
And the thing is, why were they advertising Resident Evil 1 in the
Right.
demo, even though Resident Evil 1 is already on the Switch, and they were just using that as a
Been
means
out.
to advertise Resident Evil 5 and 6, everybody's
Which makes
favorite
more
Resident
sense.
Evil games.
Yeah. I didn't understand that either.
That,
but I
that was
guess,
kind of weird.
Yeah, they were trying to plug the classics. So cool.
All right. See you next time, where we'll wrap up the E3 coverage and call it an end for 2019.